Good morning. At least morning for me. Decided my next game, more Fields of Fire, moving to Korea. I've never played the Naktong River campaign, so give that a try. Very likely, my brother and I we're in mission 8 of Vietnam. He's over at Agility Snips. Highly recommend watching that Vietnam playthrough. We made plenty of mistakes, but it's so fun. Vietnam's amazing. Um, but he also has a lot of other great games that he does both himself or he and I play. So highly recommend you check out Agility Snips. But we're going to do Heartbreak Ridge, I think, as our next Fields of Fire. So decided I would move over and do Naktong River. This one looks really interesting. Now this is mission 1. And very first thing I did was, after getting the map laid out, per the rules, from the staging area, wherever you have a line of sight, you go. So reminder, line of sight can be up to very long, so that's 3 cards. So hence, could see through here up to this hill. Can't see past this hill. Yep, so can't see that card. From here, I can, however, see from this card through here over to here. Cannot see past that in this direction. I think there's a way. I've never seen people. There we go. Look, I figured it out. Never seen people able to, or I'm sorry, could not see past this card. Obviously, from here I could see up, but I couldn't see past this hill. I want to talk about hills in a second. I was able to see 3 cards up in this direction. Was able to see, well, we talked about this card was coming from this direction and all the way up to here. So I was able to see all the way through there. And then from here, I could only see to this embankment. Now, let's talk about Naktong. So a little bit different than the Normandy cards in terms of hills. There are hills, but also you have embankments, and you'll notice embankments have a +1 on them. So this is that the +1 is adds 1 to the elevation. So the reality is this is elevation 1. These cards are all elevation 1. This is elevation 2. It has a hill and a cemetery on top of the hill. This is an embankment, which is also +1 elevation. So these 2 cards are at the same elevation. It's a little tricky to me. So these 2 are the same elevation. In this TTS mod, if I put 2 hills down and then something on top of it, the 2 hills are represented by a little +2 that'll get visible. So over here we have a hill with open on it. We have a hill with brush on it. Here we have a hill with a cemetery. You can have a hill with an embankment, which the embankment would turn it into a level 3. 2 hills plus an embankment would be a level 4 hill. So, but that's how we got to remember those. It's a little bit tricky. And as a matter of fact, I've got these little in this TTS mod, and I think I'm going to do this, where I may just put down on these cards a little +1. I'll lock that. But I'm going to copy it because all of these, I'm going to clone it. All of these are effectively +1. And this might be an easier way for me to remember. These are effectively +1. So they're all elevation 1, elevation 2, elevation 2, elevation 2, elevation 2. If we turn that into a +2, it would be elevation 3. So that might be an easier way to remember these elevations in this particular mission using the TTS mod. We'll see. I think it will be. Just a little visual cue. Now, a couple of things about Korea. First of all, our company looks a little different than World War II, not dramatically. We do have a weapons platoon. It includes a recoilless rifle. I believe that's the RCL is recoilless. Reminder, they can't be in, well, there are very specific rules about where they can and cannot fire out of. I think that's in section 7. If I'm right. Yep. Yeah. So may not fire from a building, bunker, cave, or pillbox. We have 3 of those, 57 millimeter. We've got a mortar. There are some specific rules. We cannot break that mortar down. It can break down as a result of losing steps. We cannot break it down. Then we got our platoons, and each of our platoons includes a machine gun weapons team and a bazooka team. So unlike World War II, where those were attached, or where those were part of our company, but not, we had to attach them to a platoon. Each of our platoons has a machine gun and a bazooka team. Everything is line except we have a veteran sergeant, first sergeant, the old venerable first sergeant, and then all of our platoon HQs are currently green. We're going to fix that. If we look here at the some of the specifics in the campaign, every mission we also get a 75 millimeter recoilless rifle team that we can attach. We get the artillery and the mortar every time. Get a certain set of assets every time. I just noticed something I may have to fix. Maybe. We'll look at that in a second. So, basic campaign rules. U.S. takes prisoners, North Korea does not. So, North Korea, if they have a chance to take prisoners, they're just going to turn them into casualties. We have our runners. So, we can use runners. I could place a casualty collection point, or I'm going to just wait and place it during play because I don't know where I will need them. Grenades were -4, they're -3. There is a vehicle activation, which is the order in which during the AT vehicle phase, we will do tanks first, then assault guns. Of course, reaction fire will be when it's supposed to happen, but anything that's activated will be in that order. Now, the campaign rules. We have these darn old World War II radios still. There's a historical note that at the end of the war, they'd been replaced, but going into the war, which is when this was, still using those radios, so we cannot communicate undercover. The battalion TACnet radio is able to communicate at any point, I believe. That's my understanding. There's the 60 millimeter mortar, unable to break it down. This is how it does break down if it takes hits. If there's a squad infiltration attempt by the enemy, rules on how that happens. We get very few replacements. We get 8 steps after mission 1, and then that's a wrap. No more replacements the rest of this campaign. So we do get some Korean troops. The CAT USA troops might become available in mission 6, but we don't get a lot of stuff. Now, there is counterattack rules. What happens? When there's a counterattack event, we're putting PCA markers on all U.S. occupied cards that are adjacent to a card with an unrevealed PC marker, adjacent to a card not occupied by enemy forces. So we don't really want to leave a lot of cards not occupied by enemy forces. That puts us at risk. And then at the top row. Interestingly, there will be an automatic counterattack unless we get done so fast, which is unlikely in this mission. Cover rules, deep bunker rules, nothing specific and new there. Talking about the hills. And then the enemy actions, all enemy vehicles are activated. Let's see. Yeah, basically nothing really key there. So let's move on to the mission. Mission 1, it's an offensive. You noticed I hesitated with the handhelds. I did not pull the handhelds. I'm going to, because if you look at the duration and visibility, there are 4 attempts on this. Attempt 1, 6 turns. Daylight, twilight, moon. So we do have some situation where we might need the handhelds. Attempt 2, daylight, twilight, moon. A third attempt, 10 turns, all daylight but rain. Fourth attempt, 7 daylight, twilight, moon. So I do need to go back and grab, 8 handheld illuminations. And I'm just going to do that real quickly. And I will, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oops. 8 of those. And I'm going to put them down as assets with these individual. I'm not going to put, I have a lot of times I like the smoke I have on them because I may pull these over when we get to a turn. And then I wonder if I may just give them to the first platoon and the second platoon here. You'll notice CO's got, well, he's got Green Star parachute, Green Star cluster, and the Red Star parachute. I made the parachutes infiltrate from the attack point to the primary objective. Actually, to the secondary objective makes no sense. I'm going to make that move to the primary objective. Why does that make no sense? The mission, the way it's set up, the attack point is automatically here. Secondary objective here, primary objective here. And so I can't go from the attack point and infiltrate to the primary. I can only go to the secondary. But I do have the ability, if needed, to force some movement there. Let's see. What are the other key things? Talk about this mission. Oops, spazzing out. Yeah, so here are the other key things. I start out, I do have 30 caliber HMGs that I've assigned. And if we look over here, my attachments, I have artillery FOs with the 3rd, mortars with the 1st. 1st and 2nd each have a 75 millimeter recoilless rifle. And then the HMG, the 3rd has got 2 of them. Basically the ones that have 2-21, 2-2 are with the 3rd. 1-1 is with the 1st. 1-2 is with the 2nd, is what I decided to do. I put the 57 millimeters 1st, 2nd, and 3rd with the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And then the mortar is attached to the 2nd. And so I have them set up as such. 1st platoon on the left. Going to try and get, I believe, over into this rocky terrain to then try to take those 2 elevation. 3rd platoon, likely going to try to take those 2 hills, while the 1st platoon will then ultimately move up and attempt. But I'm going to do that one a little slower. I took the 3rd squad on each of these, and I already broke them down, and I created some assault teams with smoke, and they have smoke as well as some white phosphorus in some of their cases. I gave 2 smoke to this guy, trying to get over here, although as I think about it, I actually think that guy should have the 2 smoke with the rice paddy. Really don't know if I'm going to go through. Interesting to know whether I should go through that rice paddy. We'll see. Decisions. What else? Red Star cluster with the EXO, so that's to cease fire along with this Red Star parachute. I'm actually going to put the Red Star on top, most likely to use. Each of these are just cease fires. Gave one to each other HQ. They all have TACnet radios. My HMG has got a TACnet radio. The HMG headquarters, he is green as well, has some extra ammo if needed. I think, well, mission. You will notice here, if you look at the enemy higher HQ events, they have their HQ events, but there's an automatic. 2nd attempt, turn 7, there is a planned counterattack. Late on the 10th of August, the North Korean People's Army counterattacked. During the 2nd attempt, do not draw for an enemy HQ event on turn 7. It's an automatic counterattack. We know it's coming. I kind of hate the fact that we know it's coming on that exact turn. I would love to have a little randomization to that, personally. The other mission special rules, we know, we mentioned it earlier, we get our 8 steps. These are the priorities for enemy tanks for what they will do if they get them. We do not get tanks in this one, they do. We do have the recoilless rifles that can attack, as well as our weapons teams that have anti-tank, the bazookas. We also have our HMG platoon. So the HMG platoon headquarters functions the same as any platoon. It can issue orders to itself or any of its HMGs, even if those teams are attached to other platoons. So I think that's it for the special rules. So we are just going to get started. Looks like a really interesting mission. So we have 4 turns of daylight, and then we got to switch it to twilight. It is an offensive for now. One thing to point out is if they change, if they go on the offensive, we basically place the PCAs. They then go to offensive assault, but we don't change the sequence of play. It doesn't turn into a defensive mission for us. So we stay in the same sequence of play, but they switch from this defensive activity to this offensive activity. What did it say it's going to be? Offensive assault. So now I'm thinking I need to get up on a hill. And I need to get over here. And these rice paddies are really dangerous. And listen, one thing I'm thinking, not in a hurry. We are not in a rush to go mad dashing. So we should take this slow. We've effectively got, 36 turns to get this done. Granted, lots of bad things can happen, but it's 36 turns. So it was not meant to be fast. So we are going to attempt to not move straight into god-awful rice paddies. That might be how we move some guys through, but let's get started. So shuffle her up. We're at no contact. Currently daylight. Woo! I love that. CO starts with 6. The CO is line, so he actually gets 7 because of no contact. Can save up to 9. And my attitude, well, we can do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. What? We should just give all 6. That's the max we can do. But let's give all 6. Let's activate them all. See if we can't get some banked up. Now this guy's green. And so green is -1, +1 for no contact. So he's only getting 2. And he wants to tell this guy to move forward. So he's only going to save 1. So we didn't gain a lot of banked. Oh my gosh. Also green. He's only getting 2. He is banking them all. He is not going to tell his guy to do anything yet. I wonder if that's smart. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Third gets 5. He's also green, so he gets 5. He's going to save. Well, interestingly, he can only save 3. Max visibility, max save green during normal visibility is only 3. I know he's going to tell this guy to move here, but I actually here. This is better cover. They're both level 1 hills. We might get over here. But this one, if they do incoming, is a +0. This one stays the +2. So we're going to move it here. By the way, these are both exposed. I don't think I want to do anything else. So he's going to save 3. Now the next is the HMG platoon, also green. He gets 1. XO is line. So he gets 5. Line can save up to 6. So he's just going to save all 5. And now we have our veteran who gets 2. Did I? He got 6 actually because the no contact. This veteran is up to 4 because he's a veteran plus the no contact. He's going to save 4. So that is it. Now I'm hoping to get a couple of, I'd love to get a few general initiatives here. And I got 1. That's a real bummer. which one looks for cover. And then the question is, do they look for cover or do they pop smoke? Wow. I think I'm going to have this unit look for cover. He's only drawn 2, but that's what I'm doing. 1, 2. So that did not work. He stays exposed. We are done. This is really fast. Enemy HQ, none. Enemy activity, none. Capture, none. Retreat, none. 18, none. Fire mission update, none. Potential contact. We have 2 of them. So we are doing the first one. This guy. I tend to turn it cockeyed so I remember which card it is. This is a C with no contact. We're drawing 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, well, there's my covers, but he had nothing. So this guy is now 4. 1, 2, 3. Oh boy. Wow. That's actually an amazing start. Very fortunate. Now we stayed no contact. Yeah, we stayed no contact. So let's just continue. There's no pin recovery, no combat effects at all. Clean up. On to turn 2. HQ event. We do not have one. CO gets 3. Still have no contact. He gets 4. So that is up to 5. Total. I do want the first platoon activated. I think I want the second platoon activated. Oh, I'm sorry. The third platoon activated. But then I'm going to save. I don't really want to activate him. He can only save 3, and I am, you know what? I'm going to actually give him 1 and activate him. I'm going to get somebody onto the rice paddy. I'm going to get some units up here so they can fire at them. These units, if they come in, are they spotted? Packages. Most of them are, well, it's 50-50. All right. So let's go. First platoon. 4. And he gets 4. So he's up to 5. He can only save 3. But listen, I don't want to do a platoon move because I don't want too much up on this area. So what I do think I should get up there is one of my weapons teams. That's 1. I do think I should get the mortar FO. 2. And I do want to move that guy. That is 3. So those guys are all up there. And I used 3 of my 5. 1, 2, 3. And I'm saving the rest. General initiative, I may move that unit here if I can. All right, second platoon. 3, no, 4. He gets 4, so he's up to 6. He can only use, yeah, let's see. Gonna waste a bunch of commands, but he is going to move here. Feels risky. and that's it. That's all I'm doing with the second. So he's saving 3. He wasted 2. Third gets 4. So he's up to 7. So he can spend, well, he could spend 4. His max save is 3. He's going to do very similar. Probably move 1 more up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Saving 3. HMG platoon gets 0. Saving is 1. First, or the XO gets 7. Now he's line. He's just going to lose. He's losing that 1. And then the first sergeant gets 1, and he's just going to lose, or he's saving it. He can save up to 9. And now we have general initiative. 2 of them. All right, well. I think I am going to have this unit move here. Oh, I'm going to point out. I'm on a hill. I can see over here. So I actually could already see that terrain. Oh, that's a village. Nice. I say nice. I mean, that can be bad stuff with them in it, but if I can get into it, nice spot to be able to attack up into the primary, secondary objective. I can also see over, well, I can see this card, obviously. Interesting. So that's a +1. I'm going to clone that and make sure we stay consistent with that marker so we remember. So he can see there. He can also see here. And because it's very long, he can see all the way. He can see 1, 2, 3 from that upper elevation to that gully. He can see 1, 2, 3 to here. That's another hill with open terrain. So let's make sure we mark that as well. I think that's all I can see, right? Nope, this guy. Well, now I am going to move him there. He's exposed. He can see when he gets there here. So this is also a +1. Quite some terrain. And it's a +1 because it's an embankment. So it automatically has that +1. Now when he gets up here, he's on top of a hill. So he has very long visibility. So he can see all the way to here. Also an embankment. He is able to see from this hill in this direction. So he can see here. Also an embankment, and that stops my visibility because that's a +1, same level as me, so I cannot see past that. Even though it has the, yeah, pretty sure that that's correct. I could see through that to a hill on the other side, but I don't think I can see through that to lower terrain from same elevation. It doesn't make sense to me. Like up, and then down. This would require kind of a flat. So I'm going to play it that way. This guy, when he moved here, oh, you know what? I am not going to actually, I've done it now and I've exposed because of it. Shoot. Well, this guy can see through here to here. Another hill. So the primary objective is a rice paddy up on top of a hill. Interesting. All right. Or the secondary objective. I think I said primary. that's one move. I had 2 general initiatives. I am going to have this guy look for cover. So 1, 2, 3. Another failed cover. Okay. So, their turn. Do they have an HQ event? They do not. Do they... No enemy activity, no capture, no retreat, no AT, no fire mission update. We're straight onto the contacts. Now, I have a B, and we are auto. So we are having B with no contact is auto. So the B, let's draw and see what it is. A 7. That is package 4, which is a mortar. An 82 millimeter one-step mortar in a foxhole, not spotted. Where are their mortars? Right here. A one-step mortar in a foxhole. Now, what kind of ammo do they have? Mortar teams, if you look below the packages, mortar teams have 4 ammo on attempts 1 and 2. This is attempt 1, so they get 4 ammo. So mortar ammo, they have 4. I am pretty sure. Well, let's figure out where they are. Then we're going to go look up because I think they have to. They may automatically attack on this turn. Where are they going to be? Package placement. Your unit placement. Basically front, left, front, right, front. So let's drawing a 1 through a 7. That is a 4. Left, front. So we're on level 1. This is level 1. Could not see through it anyway. He's here. I guess the only possibility was if this was a double hill. So let's just make let's make absolutely sure it is a 1 hill. It's not a 2nd hill. So lock that and then put this guy there. And I'm going to put a +1 there. Oops. That was kind of an ugly delete. Oh, golly. Why do I not allow the delete of that? Some of these decisions I made of what's deletable and what's not deletable are debatable. I'm going to actually move, if I can, move that hill card just a tad. Nope, it's almost impossible to touch through this zone, so I'm just going to leave it. Maybe I unlock it. Oh, shift it a tad more. Actually, how are hills? Hills are kind of up and over. I'm going to do like that, and I'm going to lock it. And then I'm going to put it here. Yeah, that's just not really done well by me. Up and over. I don't know why I'm taking this much time. You can tell I'm a little bit OCD sometimes. Lock that guy. This is all automatically done if you're drawing it. If you're drawing it automatically, but when I pull it like that, it's not. It maybe should be. All right. That is a +1, but I can't see through that card. So they are here. Now I'm going to pause and look this up. Didn't take me very long. It's very clear in the rules. So grenade capable units when you're placing. The following rules apply when placing enemy packages containing G or G superscript. This is a G unit, which is, we're going to drop down to the second bullet. Other G and G rated will open fire with an attempt to make a grenade attack unless the target's a vehicle. So they're going to try. It could end up with a grenade miss. So they are going to fire. So we're going to drop them down to 3 ammo. They are, I believe, didn't we say, Veteran or line? They're veteran in this attempt, so they're going to get an extra draw. Yep, so they're going to get an extra draw. They get 3 draws because they're veteran. So 1, 2, 3. So it's a grenade miss. You know, I mean, it's going to be a -1. They got a +2, -2. The smoke, however, would not have helped. So, and these guys are unspotted. That's very critical. Now, in spotting, G gets a +2, so high chance we can see them. So they were a mortar in a foxhole. Not spotted. They did lay down. They don't really lay down a PDF. As a matter of fact, I think it's called a temp PDF. Why did I just do incoming? Temp PDF. I actually have a counter that I created in this mod, temporary PDF, to show it's firing here. That disappears because every turn they'll look and see. And I believe there's actually a rule. Maybe it's in the glossary. Maybe if I can't find it super fast, but I would tell you to look up temporary PDF. Let's see. PDF. Yeah, I don't see it in the glossary really quickly. So, all right. Golly, sorry for the spazzy. So that B is done. Now we have contact because we have 1 unit, 1 friendly occupied or enemy occupied card under volume of fire. Right here. So now we're going to go here. So contact, we're only drawing 3. So 1, 2, 3. But we did get contact. That's a bummer. We were 1 card away. So this is a C, 1 through 10. That is a 3. That is going to be incoming with a spotter, which is the worst kind of incoming. So rolling a 1... R1 through 10 on a 1 through 4, it's artillery. So let's just see what it's going to be. Yes, so that's going to be artillery, which is -4 with a spotter. Otherwise, it would have been a mortar with a -3. So this is an artillery. I'm going to get the artillery, get these 2. It's a little bit of a bummer. Cover wouldn't have helped them, by the way. It is... Spotter is in a foxhole. Spotter is not spotted. So they have an artillery marker. They have incoming. We said it's -4 because it's artillery. All right. Package 1 spotters have 2 fire missions. This is their first one. So they the artillery draws 4 cards on their second. So he's only got 1 mission left, though. So 1 more artillery mission. Where is he? 1 through 7. Oops, we're reshuffling the deck after this. So a 4. I think that's the same thing, isn't it? Left front. He cannot be on the left front. A 3. Front. All right. So this guy is going to be all the way up on this hill because the spotter is placed at max line of sight in a foxhole. So he can see through this gully, up to the top of this rice paddy. Kind of wonderfully thematic, in my opinion. It's exactly where he should be. Now, I can't see any of my other units, which is good for right now. It's the only place he can see. So hopefully, if this guy can survive, which is going to be tough. I mean, he's basically a -4, but even if he stays paralyzed, he'll fire again and be gone. So potential contact C, gone. Let's see. One thing I want to look at real quick, the counterattack rules again. When the counterattack event is drawn, immediately place a PCA on all U.S. occupied cards that are adjacent to a card with an unrevealed PC marker. The reality is we do want to it'd be nice to push up a little bit. And then we don't necessarily want to have all cards occupied. I feel like I can game that a tad, maybe. Adjacent to a card. Well, nope. If it's adjacent to a card not occupied by enemy, that makes it a little trickier. All right. What I need to do is get these revealed so we don't pop back here, because we can turn this into a safer area if we can get these all revealed and units up on them. So that might be the goal for this first by turn 7, although a reminder, this counterattack can come at any time. We are now, by the way, that is incoming. This is now engaged. All right. So, potential contacts on, there is no pinned recovery, so straight on to combat effects. This is -1 because we have +2 exposed, and then the -1. The grenade, the grenade miss turns into a volume of fire in this scenario temporarily because there's no other volume of fire. So a -1 is pinned. All right, good result. -4 here. Ooh, boy, that was so close. That's a good card to draw. He is line, so he becomes a fire team. Honestly, awesome result. And he's pinned. And I say awesome result because this guy's going to try to fire one more time. I'm probably going to let him take that fire. He's now at a +1. And we'll just hate to keep him at risk, but I want to get rid of that. I want that ammo. You got to absorb it. Smoke won't matter, so very interesting. So I really do need to get these other PCs out. Leaving him here, if he is successful in dropping, and this guy, well, he'll at least be a grenade miss. I think he'll at least, unless I get him spotted. Even if I get him spotted, I can't fire at him right now. Interesting. All right, well, let's continue. No other ammo usage, so we're just going to clean her up, and we're on to turn 2 or 3. And with that, we're at 43 minutes. I'm going to stop this video, and we will pick it back up. Turn 3. Let me make that note. Turn 3, attempt 1. Coming up on the next video. Naktong River. If you've never played it, you're learning it with me. Hope you're enjoying. Bye.